Planet Dolan.
What? Don't you, Dolan? Alright guys, so just so you know, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad, garbage! Did not like them whatsoever, gave them all horrible reviews. Wonder Woman, way better, way better. Definitely a turnaround for DC. Now Justice League, it was boring, but also actually pretty good. Now I'm gonna have to explain that, which is what I'll be doing right now.
Let's do it. Alright.
Now, when we saw this movie, Gooby and I got a bunch of freebies, including 2 pop vinyls, which, you know, no, we don't like pop vinyls, but thanks anyway. We got Pringles, which we were really excited about. We got some Mercedes-Benz USB sticks, don't even fucking ask, I don't know. And that was just a lanyard on the right for entry. Anyway, the start of this film is absolutely atrocious. The first few minutes, bewildering. I turned to Gooby like, what is going on? What is this dialogue? Oh my god, like, it took ages for the film to get anywhere. I was falling asleep. I'm like, oh god, Batman v Superman Part 2, yay. Now here's just my personal opinion, because I'm sure some people will agree. The intro is showing, you know, a world where Superman's already dead, but the problem is, you have to give a shit about the character for that to, like, impact you. And this incarnation of Superman is just so goddamn boring. So it really fell flat, which did not help. And then, surprisingly, the movie gets kinda good. And then it gets boring again. But then it gets fantastic. But then it gets boring again. One scene, there's a grey filter all over the fucking screen. Then there's a red filter. Now it's a well-lit conversation scene. It was jarring. It's almost like a bunch of different movies just compressed into one. Now also the movie was actually quite short, it ran about 2 hours, which worked quite well. I'm glad they didn't extend it for 3 hours with just needless crap backstory.
Divided. We are not enough. The world needs Superman.
Now you're probably wondering what I thought was actually good about the film, because honestly there has to be something, right? Well, the characters are amazing, you know, Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash kills it. I was saying to Gooby at the end of the film, like, I think from now on, every DC movie should have The Flash in it, even if he has nothing to do with the story. He's the only non-gloomy, grim, dark, tortured character, and it really helped this movie. The audience, when the movie started, they were barely chuckling at any joke. They were just staring at the screen like super serious. Because everyone just thinks the DC movies are mostly crap, and so they weren't expecting anything good. But by the end, audience were pissing themselves. And they even clapped during the credits, which I never really see.
What did you do this weekend, Diana?
Me? Nothing very interesting.
However, for all the good characters, you have boring characters like Cyborg. He was more of a missed opportunity. You know, they were going to explore how twisted he is. They hint that he can't control his powers, but it never really goes anywhere. Instead, the guy just becomes R2-D2. He uses his technology tentacles to interact and unlock technology things whenever the plot needs him to. Not good. Aquaman, you know, he looks like he should be great, but again, yeah, kind of boring. There's this infamous scene where he's in a bubble with this other girl who is a Atlantean, and they just kind of explain his whole backstory in 2 minutes. It was just the worst thing. All it means is that Cyborg and Aquaman needed films on their own, because we can't care about them when there's all this other stuff's going on. There's just too much going on. We just need more time with them. Like, the Flash works because he has the natural charisma. It's easy to like him. These guys have complicated histories, and we need to be shown it, not told in 2 minutes. And the main villain, Steppenwolf. Oh my god, dude. Steppenwolf is just the worst thing ever. See, he was in a Batman v Superman deleted scene, right? He looks super intimidating. I really liked it. You know, he makes this creepy ass noise. There's an epic orchestral music. You're like, who is this guy? This is pretty crazy. But in this film, he's a big, stupid CGI grimbad monster man. DC apparently can't do villains for shit. Just look at Doomsday in Batman v Superman. And the plot revolves around these mother boxes, which is just super powerful computer boxes. They're a dumb plot device. Now, I'm not going to give away any spoilers or anything, but, you know, to be vague, some of the heroes are just blatantly overpowered. Like, they show up on a scene, right? And there's a chance that the hero's going to be wiped out and everything's going to collapse. One of the heroes just shows up. He's like a max level in an MMO, like griefing a noob. He just destroys them and totally kills all attention. Like, well, now that he's shown up, everything's fine. I guess there's absolutely no risk of failure now. Yay. Clap, clap, clap.
Each of us, in some way, is held back.
Don't engage alone. We'll do this together.
It's really cool. You guys seem ready to do battle and stuff, but I've never done battle. I've just pushed some people and run away.
Now, to talk about some behind the scenes stuff, this film was officially noted as being directed by Zack Snyder, although it was clear that Joss Whedon had a hand in it because he took over when Zack Snyder had a family issue to do some directing. Hence why there are parts of the movie that are actually fun. Thanks, Joss. Hurts to say, but Zack was one of my favorite directors from his work on Dawn of the Dead and Watchmen. But his reputation, for me at least, totally degraded after Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. I personally can't help but feel that, you know, maybe given his history of making good films, maybe he would have given these films more personality if he had more time to produce them. Like more time to do storyboarding, maybe like an extra year or something to beef up the script. But maybe he's just losing his touch. I don't know. I like to think it's not the latter. As for writer, thank God they got rid of David S. Goya as the writer. They finally caught on that everything he touches turns to garbage. So they've got Chris Terrio, who wrote Argo and is actually co-writing Star Wars Episode 9 at the moment, alongside Joss Whedon. They rewrote David S. Goya's early screenplay of this film and gave the characters actual likable personalities, which is 100% what saved the film for me at least. Alright guys, as before, I asked Gooby what she thought of the film.
Very similar to your review, I found that it was very hit and miss.
You mentioned you weren't a fan of Aquaman.
He didn't really do much. I mean, it felt as if out of all of them, he wasn't really needed. He was basically just beef candy or eye candy. I felt as if his only reason to be there was to take his shirt off, to be honest.
And you've mentioned that Batman and Superman had like a crazy bromance going on in this film.
No, I suppose the thing was that absolutely no one cares about Superman, and then when he dies, all of a sudden it's like, oh no, what'll we do? Everything is bad. The world is no longer safe. And yet when he was around, they were like, kill him. Okay, my official rating of the film is 3/4 of a thumbs up.
Alright guys, official rating system, how many times I checked my watch throughout the whole film. I checked it at least 5 or 6 times, which doesn't sound very good. I'd say this film is quite hit or miss, kind of like Star Wars Rogue One, where like parts of it were great, but then other parts were absolute trash. I'd say it's a bit better than Rogue One, honestly, because Rogue One, I just cringe every time I want to watch it. But overall, honestly, I think I can recommend this film. It's worth at least one watch. It's a pretty decent improvement from Batman v Superman. Makes me more hopeful for like Wonder Woman 2 and the Aquaman standalone film and the Batman, so that's nice. But I want them to make actual interesting villains for once.
Do you really think that...
Oh, wow, they really just vanish. Huh? Oh, that's rude.